December 24th, 2016. I received a lot of emails over the past several days pertaining to what is going on in the North Pole and the South Pole. And as I started to delve into some of the information, I came across a report from the Washington Post reporting that a weather buoy near the North Pole is hitting a melting point. Now, we are just about at the end of December going into January. This type of weather activity should definitely not be occurring. As you can clearly see, they have a weather chart, a map up here. The temperature departure from an average Thursday, December 22nd, 2016. And if you follow my cursor right over here to their temperature line, we have a very large swath of air temperature that looks like it is actually exceeding 36 degrees. Now, we know a large portion of cold air has dipped down into the central part of the United States and several other areas throughout the world. Now, the Washington Post wasn't the only newspaper and periodical that has been reporting this. I found dozens of articles all pertaining to this specific matter. All of them dated on or about December 21st, December 22nd, and also the 23rd. Now, they have scientists on this, climatologists, and they're all pretty baffled. Now, I'm not a meteorologist or a climatologist, but I know a good bit about weather. So I decided to start delving into it myself using some computer models that are all up to date. And what you're viewing here is, well, we'll just go for some landmarkers. This is Greenland right here. This is the entire Arctic region. You have the United States down here. Now you can clearly see where this very cold air is pushing into the entire northern sector of the United States. Now these purple areas are very cold, minus 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Now the chart over here where you see my cursor, if you just want to take a look and see what the temperature is, just match the color, minus 53 degrees Celsius. Now, if you do not know how to convert this, simply go to a conversion chart on Google, minus 53 degrees. It immediately converts it to minus 63.4 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, the air that is pushing up into the North Pole region and actually surrounding the entire North Pole region, let's just take a look. It's in the green, so let's just take a look and see what the actual air temperature would be. So it's about 4 to 5 degrees Celsius. So let's just go ahead in there and type that in, 4 degrees. So that's about 39.2 degrees. So it seems the entire North Pole is surrounded by very, very warm, unseasonably warm temperatures. And as you can clearly see, I'll zoom in for you, this air is literally trying to push up into the North Pole. Now, I do know that there are several areas around the globe that are having very unusual weather. I did hear from a couple subscribers over in the UK that were telling me that the temperatures were a lot warmer than normal. They were having some storms, things of that nature. Same thing down in Australia. I believe they have a very heavy storm off the coast that is approaching. But these temperatures are very, very confusing. If you just take a look at the Earth right now, and this is all set for surface air temperature. So you can clearly see by looking at the globe. Let's just take a look at some of the average temperatures, what we're looking at here. We'll just go 30, we'll go about 34 degrees Celsius. Let's just type that in and get a conversion. 93.2 degrees is what we're looking at pretty much across the entire equator. But we're looking at vast distances from the equator north and the equator south. So again, I'm not a climatologist or a meteorologist, but you know, it doesn't take too long to learn and see what is happening right now. Now, if in fact the North Pole is heating up, well, that's going to be a very, very serious situation for our globe. I wanted to take a look down to the Antarctic. Let's zoom in to the Antarctic and let's see what's happening down there, because I was looking at weather temperatures in the Antarctic, and they were, again, unseasonably warm. Now, you may associate this blue area for being very cold, but in fact, it's really not. It's really not that cold. So we'll go 1 degree Celsius, and that is 33.8 degrees in temperature around the Antarctic right now. Now, yes, these purple areas are much colder, minus 35 degrees. So let's just get a conversion on minus 35 degrees. So that's a minus 31 degrees Fahrenheit. I would say that's probably what the temperature should be. Maybe they should be colder. Once again, I don't know. If any of you know more about climatology and these weather patterns, feel free to drop me an email, leave your comments in the comment sections below this video. But this is actually a little concerning, very concerning. One thing I did want to take a look at was the jet stream. And what is the jet stream doing right now? So let's just go ahead and take a look at the jet stream. And by the way, whenever you're using this model, I'll leave a link to this model so you guys can go ahead and take a look at this yourself. But whenever you're trying to analyze the jet stream, I'm going to go down here and just show you real quick, because I had one of the troll babies over there in the UK trying to debunk one of my videos the other day. And he was telling everybody that I was lying about the jet stream and what it was doing. And the settings that I was using were completely incorrect. Well, let's just zoom in here a little bit so you guys can actually see what I'm looking at. So when you're looking at the jet stream on this model, see where it says jet stream? 10,500 millibars. The setting you're going to use is 250. The conversion is 10,500 millibars equals the jet stream. Okay, so Mr. Matthews, the next time you try to debunk one of my weather videos, make sure that you are using the correct settings. So anyways, let's go ahead and get straight back to this, because the jet stream patterns look absolutely erratic. So let's go ahead and just set this up real quick. We have it set at 10,500 millibars. We're looking at the wind and the air. Let's just get rid of the menu. Let's take a look at our jet stream. It almost looks like a complete spiral, like water going down a drain. And you can clearly see a lot of these warmer air temperatures pushing into the North Pole. Let's spin around and go down to the South Pole. The same thing is applying to the South Pole. Now, I'm not sure what is causing all of these erratic jet streams and weather patterns. I have my own theories, but I'll just keep those to myself. If anyone is more of an expert at our weather, I would love to hear from you. I'd love for you to explain to me what is exactly going on with our weather patterns right now on this planet. Now, I was taking a look at some current temperatures over the past few days in the Antarctic. As you can clearly see, this is set for the last couple of days in December. This is the Antarctic region. Right below, you have your temperature scale. As you can clearly see, it's not very hard to understand. We're looking at temperatures here in the red and a little bit lighter into the pink areas all around the Antarctic. I mean, these temperatures are exceeding 30 and up to 40 degrees all along the entire coastal region of the Antarctic. Why is that? How is this even happening? And once again, I'll leave direct links to the Washington Post and the other article pertaining to what is actually happening right now in the North Pole. I mean, this is quite alarming. It may not be alarming to you, but whenever we have the threats of so-called cosmic waves of energy, we also have the threat of the coronal hole facing the Earth. Today's December 24th. They were stating that we would be dead on, direct alignment with this coronal hole on or about December 25th, Christmas Day. We already have increased earthquake activity all across the globe. Matter of fact, I just want to go ahead and take a look at that right now because it's been about 3 hours since I have viewed anything on the earthquake tracker. And as you can see right now, the map just looks like one big polka dotted board. Earthquakes right now, Aleutian Islands, 8 hours ago. Alaska, 4.1. New Mexico, a magnitude 4. Mexico, 4.6. Chile, 4. Another one in Chile, 4.2. The Dominican Republic, 4.2. And you can see that there are numerous earthquakes over a magnitude 3 in Oklahoma and numerous earthquakes occurring in the Southern California area. We have a small earthquake up here in Washington, nothing to really write home about. Another magnitude 4.3. And as you can clearly see, the Ring of Fire is literally on fire. Off the coast of Russia, magnitude 4.1. Japan, 4.4. Japan, 4.7. The Philippines, 4.4. More in the Philippines, 4.8. 36 minutes ago, Northern Mariana Islands, 5.3. Indonesia, 4.4. A rare earthquake in Western Australia, 3.3. Another earthquake, 5.1. 4.7, Papua New Guinea. So as you can clearly see, the earth is lit up with these earthquakes. We have been mentioning that this earthquake activity will be increasing in frequency and probably magnitude over the next several days. So once again, if you live in an earthquake-prone area, please make sure that you are aware of what's going on. There are several good applications for your cell phones. If you want to download one of those, keep track of the earthquakes in your area. It will alert you. But the bottom line is, folks, there really is no warning system for earthquakes. The best that we have is accurate earthquake forecasting. So you can pay attention to a couple of channels. Dutch Since on YouTube does a fantastic job with his forecasting. Also, Suspicious Observers. These are the only two YouTube channels that I know that produce this type of information on a daily basis. So we have a lot of information. Once again, if anybody can help out with what they think is going on in the North Pole, I'd love to hear from you. You can email me at nibiru20x2016@gmail.com, or you can leave your comments in the comment section. And I guess we'll go from there. And it looks like we're going to be riding out some rough weather in certain areas of the world over the next 72 hours, possibly the next week. Stay tuned. We'll have another report in a few hours. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Nibiru channel. It is December 24th, 2016. I received a lot of emails over the past several days pertaining to what is going on in the North Pole and the South Pole. And as I started to delve into some of the information, I came across a report from the Washington Post reporting that a weather buoy near the North Pole is hitting a melting point. Now, we are just about at the end of December going into January. This type of weather activity should definitely not be occurring. As you can clearly see, they have a weather chart, a map up here. The temperature departure from an average Thursday, December 22nd, 2016. And if you follow my cursor right over here to their temperature line, we have a very large swath of air temperature that looks like it is actually exceeding 36 degrees. Now, we know a large portion of cold air has dipped down into the central part of the United States and several other areas throughout the world. Now, the Washington Post wasn't the only newspaper and periodical that has been reporting this. I found dozens of articles all pertaining to this specific matter. all of them dated on or about December 21st, December 22nd, and also the 23rd. Now, they have scientists on this, climatologists, and they're all pretty baffled. Now, I'm not a meteorologist or a climatologist, but I know a good bit about weather. So I decided to start delving into it myself using some computer models that are all up to date. And what